This is a recap for Wednesday, May 19th. Today in class we did a Jamboard, and I will just go to period 2's Jamboard and just kind of show you what we did in case you missed class. We just really played around with the idea of probability and how to write it. And for example, this right here is a probability of yellow. And we figured out that there's a 1 out of 10 chance. And so students wrote 1/10 or 10%. And on this one, what's the probability of choosing green? If you just reached in randomly and picked, and there's 5 out of 20, which is 1/4 or 25% chance. And on this one, what's the probability of yellow? And it's 2 out of 12, which is a 1/6, and then half of them ended up being red, so the probability of red is 1/2, and the probability of blue is 4 out of 12. So that's what we worked on. And this one I gave students the answer, which was 0, and they came up with the problem. For example, the probability of blue is 0, the probability of brown is 0, the probability of white is 0, so forth. And then we made it a little bit more complicated, like what's the probability of pulling a yellow or a striped? And so 5 of them are yellow or striped, and so that's 5 out of 10, or 1/2. And then we went on to a spinner. What's the probability of spinning this and having it land on odd, which is 4 out of 8, or 1 out of 2, 1/2. Somebody wrote 0.5, which is great, 50%. And then they made their own, and we made up questions. And then we talked about the probability of spinning the spinner and landing on C, which is 1 out of 8. And this, I'm just going to erase this really quick. These lines weren't there. So they had to figure out that we could split it into 8 equal parts, and that it would be a 1/8 chance. And then we just wrote some things that were on the low probability and the high probability, and different groups had a little bit more to say than this. And then we did a problem about the number of outfits. If somebody had 2 colors of pants and 3 colors of shirts and 2 kinds of shoes, ends up being, we can multiply the 2 pants times the 3 kinds of shirts times the 2 shoes is 12 possible outcomes. And that's it. And that's what we did with Jamboard. And then we took a quiz, and we'll go to that quiz, go to the library, and let's just answer each of these questions. So this is today's quiz, the answer key. It says using a 6-sided die, Carlin rolled a die of 6 on each of 4 successive tosses. What is the probability that Carlin will roll a 6 on the next toss? And this is 1/6 because each roll is independent. So it didn't really matter. We could have done this with this question. Let's go like this. So we could just go like this to answer this question, and it would be the same question. I could just go like this. Didn't matter. We could just answer this question. What is the probability of Carlin rolling a 6? And there's 1/6, and there's 6 sides. And let's go to the next one. So use the spinner to determine the theoretical probability of the event, and the event is a multiple of 3. So a 6 is a multiple of 3, and a 3 is a multiple of 3. That's 2. There's 8 altogether, so that simplifies to 1/4. That's D. We talked about the importance of writing down math, that thinking it by writing it. All right, the next question. was that one that we did in the Jamboard. So there's 2 colors of pants times 3 colors of shirts times 2 types of shoes, so that's 12. Another way to do it is the 2 pants, and each of these would have 3 possible shirts, and each of these would have 2 possible shoes. So you can see at the end there are 12 branches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We could even make a list if we had the information about the colors and the shoes. A jar contains 5 blue marbles. I'm going to write this down as I'm reading it. 5 blue plus 8 red plus 4 white plus 3 purple. So I add these all together and I get 20 total. And it says, suppose you pick a marble at random without looking, find the probability of red. So there's the question right there, probability of red. And there are 8 red, so that's 8 out of 20. And 4 goes in here twice, 4 goes in here 5 times, so a 2/5 chance. And the last question is, the spinner above is used in a game. What's the probability of the following events? The probability of odd. So I'll circle the odd numbers, 1, 3, 5, and 7. So that's 4 out of the 8. So that's 1/2, and that was A. So we stress the importance of writing down math. Hopefully you're doing that. And that is a recap of Wednesday, May 19th.